Hi, this is Joey Bartletill, and you're listening to Checking In. This is a new program that we put together for single men's business on SMB TV to help men with mental health issues. Every week, I'll be talking about certain things that we can deal with together and that we can help ourselves to get through whatever we're going through in the current climate. Like at the moment, one of the biggest issues that I'm hearing from men is loneliness and isolation. And that's sort of going through at this point via the COVID-19, the lockdowns. I live in Melbourne, Australia. And in Melbourne, we are still in lockdown as of today. I'm in lockdown still, and hopefully that'll finish soon. And when you go into lockdown for a long period of time, especially if you live alone or if you're in a household that doesn't necessarily connect very much, you may be feeling lonely and isolated. So are you feeling lonely and isolated? And how are you dealing with those feelings? Like normally what happens is that there are a number of different things that occur to a person that start to come up when you're feeling these lonely and isolated feelings. Sometimes there's a matter of anxiety that affects you. It can sometimes be physical. So you can sometimes get headaches or body aches or feelings of you just not feeling, the 100% that you normally are. Sometimes you may feel a disconnection, and that loneliness and isolation may actually cause you to not reach out to ask for help or to get some of the things that you want. I know that it can start to creep into your mental health, and if it does so, it sort of causes you to maybe feel a bit depressed. Remember, depression is a connection to the past. I know for myself, there is this need or tendency to want to go back to what life was like before, the freedom and the liberty to do what we want to do. That can cause you to get a little bit, a little bit depressed. But by being able to be aware of that, it helps me to understand that right now this is what's going on and how can I adapt to what's going on to help me to shift through and make, my life as rich and meaningful as I possibly can. I mean, I think that's the key word here, isn't it? Adapt. How are we adapting to being lonely and being isolated? Are we able to do things to bring more connection into our lives? Other things that may happen is that you may notice a decrease in your energy, and that may be because you may not be sleeping a lot, or you may be using substances, say as alcohol or drugs. Just be mindful that when you are alone, and you're trying to work and you're trying to fill in your day, it can seem a bit overwhelming. So some of the simple things that you can do is to reach out to your family and friends. And I know that we can't physically see them when we're in lockdown, but when we can see them, to reach out or even to attempt to do a Zoom call or a phone call at least every day to try and feel like there is someone in your life. Sometimes if you have a partner, they can come over. But if you're single and alone, that feeling of loneliness and isolation can become a little bit overwhelming. So it's important for you to ascertain at what level you're at. I know that for some people, I know myself at the moment, I actually quite enjoy being alone and being on my own because normally I'm surrounded by lots of people. So it's really been quite a nice feeling to have a few months of just being in this bubble of quietness. I am getting a little bit over it now, but sometimes an introvert would want to retreat and they might find themselves wanting to go out more. And an extrovert might use this time to become an introvert and actually allow themselves to have some quiet time. Either way, it's just about acceptance and understanding what this feeling is all about. What is coming up inside of you that may be causing some negative feelings or thoughts inside of you that may cause you to feel detached from the way you eat or the way you exercise. You may find yourself just spending lots and lots of time sitting on the couch, drinking, for example, when you know at a deep level that that's not going to really help. And you also know that it's not helping in that moment. Other ways to connect is joining something like SMB or Single Secret Men's Business on Facebook or Instagram or other platforms where you can connect to a community. Even though we are in lockdown, doesn't mean that we can't connect to people using the online tools. I mean, that's one of the amazing things of the internet. We've been able to use it now to connect with people globally and not really feel alone. I know the reason why I really invest in Secret Men's Business, SMB, is because of that reason. I really wanted to connect with other guys, and I feel so fortunate and blessed to have so many people in my life that I haven't met, but yet I feel very close to. And even though we may have seen each other on Zoom, it's interesting because we haven't physically met each other. So you can use that platform to really help. Another thing that you could do is volunteer. I'm looking for a lot of people to help me with SMB. So if you want to volunteer here, that'll be great. Just reach out and I will help you find a role within our community. Or there'd be so many other communities and other groups looking for people to help. Running a group or running a community is very hard work. And if you're working at the same time, you need the sort of help from other members. So consider maybe using your time of being lonely or isolated to help somewhere else. I mean, that could really assist other people to have some time off, to get some time to rejuvenate their energy, because running a group is hard. It takes a lot of time. And finally, getting a pet. I think, getting a dog or a cat or a bird or something that's going to make you feel connected is such a helpful way as a first step. I mean, I lost my dog 2 years ago, and I am considering getting another one soon. But that dog was such a big, major part of my life. He was like my best friend. So if you're feeling isolated and alone, sometimes having a pet can help you fill that gap. Because really what we're looking for is to be wanted, to be needed. So consider the things that will help you to feel that way. Consider the fact that there's other people in the same boat that probably are there to help and will be interested in sharing and listening to your story. So till our next check-in, hope you have a great week and we'll see you soon. Bye.